someone's coming forward right now.
There's something bothering you.
Yeah.
Okay.
The bride is here.
Okay guys, I think Rhonda is picking up on something. She legs it when she is picking up on something, so I'm gonna go here and see what's going on.
He told me to come over here. Oh, here, that's what it was. This is a soldier. He was a defending soldier for this castle, and he said that there was, of course, there's always people who are trying to storm and come in, but he's telling me to come around here, and I'll be able to see along the wall. And he said that this area right here was very weak. He says, as low as you think it would be over there, he said, even though it's higher here, he's telling me that the view from there was more difficult to see them scaling. So he said that this right here was very, very vulnerable to attack from people scaling the hill, the wall, and coming in. He said they would spill over here he said they would slosh out like your beer sloshes out of a tankard. He's telling me they would just over in waves, he said.
Do you have a name?
Here.
Bit weird.
It's Farnag.
Farrick.
Something like that. I can't pronounce it.
We'll go with Farrick for now.
Farrick. Yeah, that sounds about right. And he said he's a knight. He's a knight.
Okay.
He's tall. He's a knight. And he said this part here was the most vulnerable because they couldn't see.
What are you hearing?
He's just showing me a video of them just scaling over, and I guess they would like someone would be on the bottom. There would be two side by side of the bad guys. He said they would stand like, he's showing me thumbs in, thumbs out. He's showing me this. Let me move my hand. He said that there'd be like on the base of the bad guys coming in. He said they would plant their feet like this, squat down, and go like this, so that their arms faced out. And they would go foot by foot by foot, and that would be like this. And then others would step their foot here and make it would be a two-tier base, he's telling me, of the foundation. And then people would run up, jump on another person's back and come up. But the base would always stay the same. And these were the strongest men. And these men never, ever, ever entered. If they ever broke through, these guys didn't come in, they would always come around the front. And this castle has been breached. It has.
Okay.
And so he says that they would come here and they'd run around that side and come in, and then these guys would come in, and then he said that they would use their brute strength like this to batter. He's showing me them doing that to get in, break through the door, and then boom, it's over. But he said, yeah, they had definitely been breached. And they would come through here. And I'm asking him, what they do did they come up close and pour things over? And he said it was too far of a trek for hot things, like hot oil. He said you can't do that. He said, but they would throw down these big, like granite blocks, almost like the bricks it took to build that. They would have a bunch of extra like not foundational, like the stuff they would make the walls with. That's what they used to throw over the side. But he said after they learned that, . after they learned that this was a weak area, he's showing me about this high around here to like around this little bend, from there to about right here. He's showing me a wooden, it's not a scaffold, but it's like a wooden walking, like a guard's walking. They would patrol along here, and he said it would come about this, probably about this high. That way, he said, I said like high. He says, no, like this high. He said that way, if attack ever did happen, they'd have plenty of room to lay down, redo their arrows, and do what they needed to do. They could hide here and still, he said, and still have protection.
Okay.
For, you know, be able to protect themselves. And then when they're on patrol, they'd walk back and forth like a sentry duty kind of. He used to do sentry, but then he's kind of in charge of. He became in charge. He was in charge. But yeah, that's who.
Okay.
That's what.
So your first spirit, a soldier named Farrig, and this castle was breached. Okay. So I think what we'll do, we'll make it into the main chapel.
Okay.
And I want to see what you pick up in there.
Okay. And then how do I get there? Just,
yeah, we can walk around again.
okay.
Or
Scale up here, maybe.
yeah.
Okay.
Ooh. Why do I always wear Converse? Nice ass shot, Rhonda.
I feel like Bridget Jones coming down the fire pole. Oh my God, no!
I'm okay.
In the future, no. Because you see, if you're standing here, you can't see.
Yes, okay.
You cannot see.
Look at that view.
Oh my goodness, it's gorgeous.
There's Hor Abbey, where we were yesterday, guys. Okay.
Wow, look at this landscape. But someone was thrown out there. It was a man who was thrown out.
So someone was thrown out from the top there. Okay, let's make our way over to the chapel. Okay. So guys, I have a history video of the Rock of Cashel linked down below for you guys. If you want to go check it out. It is very ominous and large.
Wow. It is
First impression?
power, authority,
Okay.
the final say.
The final say. So we're making our way into the chapel. And when I say chapel, what kind of washes over you when I say chapel?
Well, in my logic mind, I think a place of worship.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I don't feel that here. I don't feel that. But let's wait till I come inside.
Okay. Wow.
So it would be over there, is that correct?
Yes. So we're in the audience there.
I don't really feel when you said lodging, and I mean, I know it was, you're telling me that it was a chapel, but I see this as, I feel, okay, so what's happening right now is okay, so I see men of importance who are not men of God, men of importance, men who speak of strategic conversations of battle, war, etc. A lot of that's happening in here. There, and even when service is being held, sacraments are being given, etc. It's like the king of this castle, and I think all the following kings felt that they had more authority and they could do what they wanted to do. So I feel like it was more a battle. These were more knights. This is more war. This is a war. Like you would call, honestly, you know what I want to call this? The war room. It doesn't feel like a chapel to me. It feels like only I feel like this is where the defenders of the castle would come to worship for blessing and strength and protection from the saints. I believe that this was mainly, I really do, oh wow. Okay, so I'm seeing lots of strong, powerful, strategic, intelligent men in here. And they're coming together for the protection, wisdom, and strategy from God to be endowed, given to them as they battle. And this, I just don't see this really as being, I feel like there's just a lot of soldier energy in here. There's soldier energy in here. And it's like they're like it's like holy wars. Like they feel that they're fighting for the good. They're fighting for and you know what? I think they were.
Okay.
I think they were.
And can I ask?
Yes.
Would they come here to pray before going to fight?
Yes.
Okay.
They would pray for protection, and also these men were unafraid. These men were not afraid of dying. Their thoughts were, if I lose my life in this battle, that's what I was born for. And I'm
they were
going to
chosen
go at it with
first.
full speed ahead, and I'm going to make sure that my steel is strong and sharpened, and that I am paying attention, and all of my senses are alert. And they would pray to the saints for protection. They would ask for forgiveness of all trespasses before they went, because they. Okay, so like I said before, I am not Catholic. I'm not religious in any way, shape, or form. But I'm hearing something being told to me. I don't even know this is a thing, but I keep hearing the word pre-sacrament. I keep hearing pre-sacrament. I keep hearing, it's almost as if they were given their last rites before the chance of death, so that their soul was clean. That's what I'm feeling. And yeah, this is war energy. This is energy of like there's like this is the soldiers. This is like the soldiers.
What can you smell?
Chapel.
What can you smell?
I smell incense.
Incense?
I smell it. It's very strong. It actually hurts my sinuses.
Do you feel anybody
Perfumey.
would have died in here?
I think there are a lot of dead people in here who went to war. I feel like at one point when the castle had been breached, there were a lot of disrespectful things happened in here.
Okay.
Very, very disrespectful things happened in here. But you know what the thing is with this castle? The energy I feel is resilience, and almost the sense of them knowing that, you know what? You may have got your one, but we're going to get the rest. Someone's coming forward right now, and he did take. He took the cloth. He said, I took the cloth, but then he said his calling became stronger, and to fight and defend. And he was a holy soldier. He was a man of God fighting. So he's showing me himself welding a sword, very heavy. And so he fought, and yet he was a man of God. So when I could see him now, when they would be in battle, he would actually give people sacrament, the last rites. He would do last rites. I don't know if sacrament's the right word, but he would like bless them before, as they passed on into the next life.
So would you have been like a head knight in a way, or
no, not at all. He was almost like a clergy, like he was a clergy knight, kind of.
A religious. There were religious knights.
He was a man of God. He said he was endowed with authority to liberate the soul. He's telling me. These are tombs.
Yeah. So a very important man, a knight, would have been buried here. And you can see here, I think it's the 12 apostles that are around him.
He was a holy knight.
A holy knight.
He was a holy knight.
Could have been the man we were talking about.
He was a holy knight. Could it be George?
George?
It could be George, very possibly.
Jeebus, you're looking a bit. So these are quite popular in abbeys across Ireland, and one of the main knights of the area would have been buried in a tomb like this. So important, right in the chapel. And again, another very important.
These are tombs.
These are quite stunning.
These are bodies are here.
Bodies are here?
Bodies are here. Yeah, bodies are here.
So guys, I'm just going to show you some of the artwork here. I think these are saints. They could be the 12 apostles. They're all holding different objects. So this one is very medieval in style, almost Tudor, which is unusual for Ireland. And over here, you can see the fish, coat of arms, very pretty.
Sounds weird, and it feels weird for me to say this, but when we were looking at this here, I would automatically assume that that was a man. I don't think that's a man there.
Okay.
I think a woman is there.
Okay.
I honestly feel peace. I feel peace.
You feel
And
peace.
I feel peace, like people are at rest, and they've, it's almost like they knew when something was happening to them, that they were going, their soul was safe.
So they accepted their demise.
They did.
They were in
accepted
the
it.
Lord's house.
They were, and they said
They felt
almost
safe.
Felt like they feel honored to have been able to even die that way.
Okay. Makes sense. Okay, so guys, I want to show you, these are some of the original artwork that was found here on the wall. So this is what it would have looked like, and that is it, what remains. It's actually quite amazing to think you're looking at such old art. You can still see Jesus's hand up there. His body, it's quite amazing. There's something bothering you.
Yeah.
Is
yeah,
what?
Okay. So
Does it not feel right to you?
Well, something happened on that day. It wasn't just an invasion. It wasn't just just an invasion by Cromwell. There was a wedding that was in process.
Okay. Okay.
The bride is here.
Okay.
There was a wedding in process, and that's, she feels so guilty. She feels so much guilt because she said they would have had much more trouble gathering all of these people in here if it hadn't have been
To defend the castle.
for the wedding. They came for the wedding. They came for the wedding. They planned the wedding. There was a wedding planned here, and so all these people were not. The people, she's telling me, the people weren't corralled in here and forced in here. People willingly came in because they knew a wedding was going to be happening, and she's feeling really. She doesn't care that she died, and she died with her sweetheart.
She feels responsible.
She feels highly responsible. She goes, this many people wouldn't have been locked in here if it hadn't been for the wedding. And it's funny because she says that she didn't really want this big to-do. She wanted a quiet wedding at night, and she says, my husband, Knight, she calls him, said, no, you deserve a church wedding in the daylight, and we will be proud to have our union in the sunlight. And then this is what happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah, I am. It's just, I'm trying to talk to her and tell her that it wasn't her fault. And he's with her right now too, and he says it wasn't, he doesn't take ownership. He says it wasn't my fault. It wasn't your fault. It wasn't our love's fault. It was Cromwell.
Wow.
She's wearing this gauzy, it's like covering only half of her face. It's coming down here, and it just kind of drapes to here. Like her lips are still visible, and she has these flowers that are pressed into her sweet head, and you can see this little top of her head. And she felt very sick to her stomach all morning, and her mother was telling her it was just nerves, and she gave her orange blossoms to chew on. To soothe her stomach. And when she died, that's what she tasted. In her teeth. Like I can feel it. The petals of the orange blossoms are in her teeth. Yeah.
They came to celebrate love.
They came to celebrate love.
Okay.
They didn't regret being here. And actually the people were saying, now I can hear them. Now I can hear them. They're saying, we didn't die for nothing. We died for love.
Conquered this land and the people and tried to absolutely...
He was physically here.
He was physically here. This is one of the main places. His troops were here. He used to have babies that would be on spikes, pikes they'd call them, and walk around to scare the locals. He was known to hang people from the castle walls as a deterrent for other people who were going to uprise against England and keep their kingdoms and their chieftains, and well, their kings and chieftains, high kings, chieftains, it's kind of the same thing. But yeah, Cromwell came here, and this chapel is one of the most famous places in Ireland for what happened here. It was a massacre, and what Rhonda's been picking up makes so much sense. It would have been an ambush. I'm sure they wouldn't have known they were coming. She picked up on a knight on the outside of the wall, near the entrance at the wall at the back there. And obviously, she was picking up on the energy of Cromwell coming. He was coming, and they were getting ready to fight. But they would have all hidden here, all the people around the village in Cashel. They would have thought they were safe in God's house. You have to remember, religion is so important to these people. This wasn't if it's real. It is real. They believed more than we could ever imagine that God had his way and his will, and their faith was so strong. They would have died for God. And in here, they would have felt safe. They would have felt like God will protect them. But sadly, God was taking a break. So these are some medieval kitchens.
Oh my God. This is the guy who was talking to me as we were driving up here. He's here right now. Okay. He's not going anywhere, That's another. What's down there? What would that be?
Probably the cellar.
Okay.
I suppose they could shout down to people to bring stuff up.
Yeah.
So, the King's Quarter.
I can actually feel it in here. I can feel the energy.
Okay. It is stunning, guys. You see all the little saints everywhere. Or I suppose there would have been always watching.
It's beautiful.
So, tell me, what do you feel?
Oh, I his energies. I mean, I say he. I know there was a lot of. There's more than one king here. When I say king, I can feel his energy. Yes, but I know there were many kings here. Okay, I do acknowledge that. I understand that. However, the one I'm pulling up on is the same one that the priest at Hor Abbey, Francis, who was talking to me. This is the king's energy I'm feeling right now, and yeah, he's here. It's very. He was just such a down to earth. He didn't.
Not what you'd expect from
he was very,
medieval.
very down to earth. I would have to say that is something that really kind of annoyed Francis. That this king had so much power, authority, and realm that of the realm, you know, that he thought he should carry himself from pomp, I guess.
Okay.
But he didn't. He was just very down to earth. And this is noisy in here. Like the king is here. He didn't yell. I would say he just wasn't boisterous. He was very down to earth. He wasn't the kind of man who wanted everybody to stop what they're doing and listen to him.
And what do you think would have happened up here?
I think that
Would he be
music is up there.
Yeah.
I do feel like music is up there, and
So they would have entertained the king.
Yeah, like there's children running around, children are playing, his wife is here, he's here, food's being brought, and his children would perform for him, and he just thought they were fantastic. He loved his kids. And up there, they did have, like, they had people playing music, and also, like, they were, like, poetry, where they were like speaking stories, like talking stories, if that makes any sense. But he loved that. He loved it. He loved it. He loved his life. He loved his life. And people loved him and respected him. The only ones that really didn't really like him so much were the smaller castles that were under his rule that were further away.
Okay.
They had a lot of resentment to him.
Well, they wanted to take power from him, I suppose, and maybe
they hated that he had hold over them, and he was so far away. They just felt that he didn't know enough about them to rule them from a distance. They felt like they should rule themselves.
So I think these things here, guys, they're eavesdroppers. They are God's eyes watching, angels in every corner. So be careful what you say in this room. You are being heard.
Wow.
And you can see here kind of a depiction of a king, a knight by his side, a child, a woman, a maiden.
You know, he would hear people. People would come forward with problems that needed to get solved. And he was patient, and he would listen to them. And
he was low.
A bit like Solomon, a little bit, you know, in a way that he would just be very, very down to earth, very simple. Just like, it's not that difficult. Let's just do this, this, and this. And he was very fair and respected.
Okay, quite interesting, guys. It's a slop sink, so waste food from the kitchens. It's very close to where the king would have sat.
Food was hot and good.
But maybe this is only one of many. This is where maybe it would have kept hot for him, or... Ooh.
That's a bed warmer, actually.
That's a bed warmer, yeah.